things. Oh yeah, you want to make me, because I'm telling stories about licorice. I mean, why would you not want to hear about my amazing licorice stories? It doesn't matter. We're fine. It's cool.
You're watching Leap Magazine, and the following interview may contain traces of nuts, exclamation marks, high-pitched sounds, and more Trinity Forces than you can shake a blind monk at. And obviously, puns and puns of damage. Introducing the one, the only, welcome Phreak.
That was one of the best intros I've ever heard. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, I would lie if I said I didn't practice it at least once in the toilet before I came in.
I mean, that's all the practice you need. I usually don't practice anything.
Well, there you go. I'm literally going to kick this straight off, because with you, it's like, what should I possibly ask you and then not waste the opportunity to have you like live pun on demand in front of everybody. So I will be throwing that at you at one point. But let's start out serious, and then we can go nuts. You are literally, at this stage, the voice of League of Legends. In many ways, you are. I mean, every single champion we've sat through, we've heard you introduce. Looking back, what's it like having been there from like the beginning and to now, and just watch it evolve?
It's honestly a little bit surreal. I do want to add two caveats, one of which I'm actually bad at puns on command. There has to be like some kind of weird inspiration. There's got to be like a word that I jump off from. Like I wrote up an escalator the other day, and I was like, why are they called escalators if they get you there sooner? But like that has to be the kind of impetus. So I can't promise a spur of the moment pun during this cast. The other one I want to caveat is the voice of League thing. I understand your champion spotlight voice or point, but like there's a lot of really amazing people. I don't want to like say I'm the guy you should listen to. I just want to throw it out there and like deflate my own ego a little bit, because it's already so huge. But as far as watching League grow and being a part of it, I mean, I've been at Riot since 2009. I started playing the game before I joined in the first place, and it's just been really cool because I was there the whole time. The whole gradual growth of the game, it felt gradual enough that like nothing was sudden, right? Like a lot of the population also is, people not in North America, unsurprisingly, and those are players I don't interact with very often. And so like while a player base is growing or exploding in China or Korea or over in Europe, like I don't feel that on a one-to-one level, because I'm not interacting with those people very often. And then you come to an event and you're like, oh my God, there's so many amazing French fans, there's so many amazing Korean fans, there's so many amazing Southern fans in the US, like all this stuff, it explodes at events. And so those sort of 5 years of growth, it just feels so gradual that it's surprising to me. But then coming to things like this is amazing.
Is it wrong of me that I kind of caught on to the fact that you just compared southern states to a foreign country?
Don't take it that way. I didn't need a passport to get here. I'm not saying that I should require one. I was just sort of listing events backwards. Okay. So
that was beautiful. All right. So aside from getting you into trouble, I mean, obviously, you have a very special take on League of Legends. Every champion ought to just go full Trinity Force and then hurt each other. Which also explains, your flair and liking of AD carries. Do you feel in any way that you feel more comfortable, like pointing out little things and being outrageous in the bot lane than anything else, because that's where your game is happening, the punch each other in the face until one of you falls over game?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's absolutely true. I mean, there's millions of things you could possibly talk about in a game of League of Legends, and it comes down to what you feel is important and what you actually know about. Now, thankfully, not only am I an AD carry player, but I like to be a sort of leader personality. I like to shot call when I play League of Legends. If I play in a ranked team, I'm usually the guy talking the most. So I at least have surprising, right? My job is to talk to everyone, and unsurprisingly, I keep wanting to do so. It's weird. So at least I have like an area of expertise around map movements and shot calling and sort of understanding like when cooldowns are important. And I'm not Faker, right? I don't understand everything, but as far as like my skills,
you're only human.
Unfortunately, yeah, and I'm white, so how could I possibly be as good? But as far as skill sets of what I can talk about, I have maybe a 7 out of 10 on the casting sort of graph of shot calling, and probably like a 9.5 out of 10 of AD carry stuff, because that's a role that I main. So I couldn't tell you like, oh, he's definitely gonna go for like these 3 items on the mid lane, and this is why. Like I can give you parts of it, but yeah, I definitely have an area of expertise. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I mean, looking at that then, and obviously like your take on it, I asked Quickshot if he could design any new champion, what would his mechanic be? And he went all around, he'd like one that was based on like items and things and not so much on their skills. So throwing the same question at you, if you could design a champion mechanic, like your champion, and obviously you can't just have it would have to be more than just Trinity Force in the face.
Sure.
What would you do? What would be your ideal champion?
Okay. So first of all, I think you need an ability that has a 1.5 second cooldown that can't be affected by CDR, that is just like on next hit, which literally just means like you just proc Trinity Force on cooldown, and you couldn't do anything worse than that. So that's ability number one. But no, actually, I'm a really big fan of different classes of champions in different roles. Like, I'm glad we have like mages and tanks and supports in the top lane and everywhere else. So I want a jungle marksman, because that's the one role where it makes sense that we don't have yet, right? Quinn top's a thing, Vayne top's a thing, you see it occasionally. Ezreal and Corki are common mid lane or spot lane, obviously, but like, jungle Twitch is like considered a troll pick. And I want a real good jungle lady carry. That's what I want to do, so that I can never learn another play style and yet play all the lanes.
That's brilliant. But you do know that you guys shut that down, right? I mean, Kikis was showing you how to go ranged AD carry in the jungle, and you looked at it and went, no.
I mean, okay, you could say on hit TF was like a ranged AD carry in the jungle. I mean, we lowered the number of leashes in the jungle camp.
But he was bringing Kayn.
Yes. Oh, I mean, it was cool. Like, I'm not saying those are bad things to have. And to be fair, like, you know, last season or so when people were playing a little bit of jungle Kayle, like, people weren't even leashing all that much anyway. So, I don't remember the exact rationale behind the changes, so I might misquote this. Which makes me not want to say it, because then if I get it wrong, I'm going to get flamed for it. But there was a very specific reason why the designers wanted to lower the number of soft leashes. That might be in the patch preview video. So at risk of not misquoting, I'm not going to say anything here, but I know there was a real reason why we were doing it. I generally stand behind Riot decisions. I think we do a generally pretty good job of that kind of stuff. So that's honestly the limit of how I can answer your question.
That's the last time I'll let him get away with a PR answer. Okay, well, yeah.
I mean, hey, I made fun of myself for being white. I mean, PR exactly is not my strength.
All right, and unfortunately, do you know what? I'm just going to tell you, because we're doing this thing now. The people behind the camera are doing that thing again where they say I have to let him go. I know, right? That sucks. So we're going to have to wrap this up somehow real quick. In that case, I'm just going to ask, watching the games right now, have you noticed how many times these professional players have miscalculated the new leash timer and run away with a monster on like 0% health, only to have to start over? Am I the only one enjoying that?
No, it's great. I mean, it's cool to see that, like, even though these players play so much, there's still so many things to master in League of Legends that, like, they'll get things like counting leash timers wrong. I've actually noticed that most players, from watching streams, when they do things that seem mundane, like taking a jungle camp, whatever, they don't watch their own champion anymore. So I see all sorts of Lee Sins, like, mistime their cooldowns back when Lee Sin was popular in the jungle, or, you know, leashing, as you're mentioning here. And it's partially because, you know, they could choose to sort of put more time and effort into that, but also because they'd rather look around the map and look at other things. So it's forgivable in a sense, because like I wouldn't have seen the ganks they would have seen, so I can't exactly flame.
That is true. I mean, for me, it just makes me feel good, because I would have gotten that golem.
Oh, no, same. No, same. I mean, I love getting to know that I would have done this one thing better than the other 99 of them wrong, but hey, you know.
Let's not, you know, devote our attention from the important thing here. We are better than them at golem. There you go. For more on the MSI, stay tuned to LeapMat.com, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Ta.